Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
Manchester United 1, Copenhagen 1, a tactical analysis. If you are looking for cheap, good quality football jerseys, then head over to www.jerseyfifa.com where they have new season's jerseys available for just $25 and retro jerseys as well. Also, if you use the coupon code ATLANTISFOOTBALL, you'll get 5% off. A link to the website will be linked in the description below. So going into the game, Solskjaer lined up his side in a 4-2-3-1 with Romero in goal, Bailly and Maguire as the centre-back pairing, Wan-Bissaka at right-back, Williams at left-back with a midfield double pivot of Pogba and Fred. Bruno Fernandes played in front of them, Rashford played from the left of the attack, Greenwood on the right and Martial up front. Style of Solskjaer used a 4-3-3 that would become a 4-4-2 shape at times with Jonsson in goal, Varela at right back, Bolson at left back with a centre back pairing of Bjorland and Nelson. The midfield three consisted of Starger, Zika and Pep Biel, with Rasmus Falk on the left of the front three, Darami on the right and Vind up front. Also, after this video, check out my friend Joe Collins' video where he practices free kicks with a Premier League player. See if you can guess who it is in the comments. That video will also be linked in the description, so go over and subscribe to his channel. From the start of the game, Copenhagen set off United in a 4-4-2 shape, allowing United to have the ball in their own defensive third. United's 4-2-3-1 basically had three horizontal lines in possession, with Maguire and Lindelof being the deepest, the two fullbacks and a midfield double pivot the next one, and the front four playing at the top with Rashford, Greenwood, Fernandes all looking to drop between the lines of the Copenhagen system. Copenhagen's use of a two-striker defensive system was used by Solskjaer in order to reduce the influence of United's midfield double pivot by cutting off the passing lanes from the centre-backs into Pogba and Fred. What we saw United do to adapt is that Fred dropped into the deepest line of possession, essentially creating a back three, as he dropped to the left of Maguire, trying to pick up the ball wide of Copenhagen's front two. So the point of progression for United when in possession came through the centre of the pitch, getting the ball into Pogba, from where he would look to play incisive passes into Fernandes. The point of progression is just a term I use to describe how a side looks to move the ball forward in possession. Do they look to go through the centre of the pitch using incisive passes into players positioned between the lines of the opposition system, or do they look to move the ball out wide to the fullbacks and have them progress the ball forward, or are they looking to transition the attack quickly using direct passes into forward players before the opposition gets back into shape, which essentially a counter-attack, or do they look to use long balls from deep into the centre forward or the wide attackers high up the pitch? Copenhagen were effective at nullifying United's ability to work the ball through the centre of the pitch. Their 4-4-2 shape was compact and the front two did a great job of sitting close to each other, and we even saw them press aggressively at times. Here we see that when Fred receives the ball, Darami moves to close him down instantly, as if there had been some instruction that a square pass across the back line is a trigger to press. We see the whole formation move with him as the midfield quickly moved from a zonal defensive system to a man-to-man pressing system, with each player moving up to pressurise a United player. This led to a turnover of possession, with Fred getting caught on the ball and conceding possession in United's defensive third, from where Copenhagen were able to create a dangerous goal-scoring opportunity. In possession, Copenhagen's 4-4-2 became a lot more fluid. Zika and Starger were joined in the central midfield by Rasmus Falk on the left, essentially creating a three-man midfield, with Zika acting as a deep lying midfielder, dropping deep to receive the ball off of the centre-backs, whilst Falk retained a higher position. Pep Biel on the other flank did the opposite to Falk. He retained his width high up the pitch, which also allowed Vind to drop deep from the forward line into the half space created by the right midfielder's wide positioning. With Falk's narrow position, we also saw the left back Bolson push further forward down the left flank to provide the width on that side. United looked to defend in their usual 4-2-3-1. They weren't as aggressive in the press as they usually are. They did press aggressively in a man-to-man system when the ball was in Copenhagen's defensive third, but we did see them drop off into a 4-4-2, 4-4-1-1 shape, allowing the deep lying midfielders for Copenhagen to have the ball and the centre-backs as well. United were able to work the ball through the Copenhagen system when they were able to feed the ball into Pogba and Fred behind Copenhagen's front two. Here we see that Fred manages to move the ball into the middle third, and Fernandes has cleverly moved into the half space between Zeka and Falk. Fred's pass is quick and accurate, which allows Fernandes to receive the ball in this area, and subsequently he's able to move the ball into the Copenhagen box with one pass into Martial back on the other side. In the second half, we did see Copenhagen begin to press United higher up the pitch. Here we see the right midfielder has pushed up onto Williams when he receives the ball, and the two forwards have pushed up onto United's centre-backs, with Starger moving forward from the midfield line to apply pressure to Fred. The problem for United wasn't that they were unable to find a way through Copenhagen's system, as gaps were emerging between the wide midfielders and the central midfielders. It was just that United individually were making poorer passes or had a lack of ball control. An example here is Fred's poor crossfield pass which doesn't find Wan-Bissaka on the right and hands possession back to Copenhagen. I also thought Fernandes had a few uncharacteristically poor touches in behind the midfield which did prevent United from getting into the Copenhagen box. However, Fernandes soon became United's main source of creativity alongside Pogba. The game was stretched with spaces opening up across Copenhagen's midfield four, which became disjointed, opening up passing lanes into Fernandes, Rashford and Greenwood in behind the midfield. United also began to press a lot more aggressively, pushing up to Copenhagen's defensive third a lot quicker, forcing them to play long balls upfield from where United could regain possession, with Pogba and Maguire being fantastic in aerial duels. However, Copenhagen were able to also take advantage of the increased space in midfield, with United pressing more. Here United press high in the final third, but as the ball is played into Saga, he's also able to turn away from Williams easily and carry the ball forward, and then play a pass in between United's midfield double pivot, allowing Copenhagen to bypass United's press and progress the ball from their defensive third to the United half. United really lacked an exceptional athletic ball winner in midfield in this game, with Fred easily bypassed. An example of this is here as Fulker takes up a central position as Copenhagen play with an unsymmetrical 4-2-2-2 shape, with Fulker playing narrow in the half space whilst Oviedo on the other side holds his width. Here Fred is able to close down Fulker in the centre of the pitch, but with one touch Fulker is able to move past Fred and beat the hold of United's midfield. There's space on the right created by Fulk's movement for Varela to overlap into, and throughout the second half Fulk was superb and this face of play showed it clearly. He didn't rush into putting a cross into the box, instead he combined with Varela down the right channel, moves the ball into a great position and then glides past both Fred and Williams to create probably Copenhagen's best chance of the game. As Copenhagen's midfield began to tire and their defensive system became more and more stretched, Fernandes began to thrive. Here we see that with one pass Rashford's in United's defensive third and he's able to move the ball into Fernandes in behind the midfield. Fernandes was also able to create by dropping deeper and playing lofted passes over Copenhagen's back line. He did it here to almost find Greenwood's diagonal run and ended it here to find Rashford making a run round the back post. United seemed unable to get the ball into the back of the net, with the ball coming off the post on a number of occasions. The game went into extra time after it remained 0-0. In extra time we really started to see Copenhagen's midfield become lethargic in their defensive shape as they began to tire more and more. Martial was dropping deep from the forward line, picking up the ball and then running at the centre backs, gliding past them, and with his close control dribbling he was able to get into some fantastic positions. But somehow United couldn't put the ball into the back of the net, with Copenhagen's keeper Howson being a main reason why, as he was excellent throughout the game. However, United did eventually get a penalty after Martial was brought down in the box, giving Fernandes the opportunity to smash the ball past Howson in goal and send United through to the semi-finals to meet either Sevilla or Wolves. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, remember to give it a like, subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Check out some of my other videos in the description below, and remember, for cheap football jerseys use the link in the description below and the coupon code ATLANTISFOOTBALL for 5% off.